And today is all about relinquishing unconscious patterns. So where are we doing things over and over and over again? Possibly, you never know. I always rewatch and read all the notes because I know I miss a lot of stuff. So today is about looking at things that we do automatically that we aren't even conscious to, and just learning to recognize those patterns and let them go. So to start it off, she goes over how the author, Katherine Woodward Thomas, of Calling in the One, yay, taking notes, good, because you're going to want those for the homework. There's some good stuff. So she talks about how she was mildly depressed for quite some time, and she's driving down the road, and she basically heard her subconscious say to her, you know, you really don't need to suffer this way. Oh, you're a stinker. So she hears from her subconscious, you don't really need to suffer. You don't need to be in the state of depression if you don't want to. However, she was choosing to be mildly depressed, as she put it, because she didn't want to let it go. She didn't want to move past the pain. So you just never know, but if we were to really just sit down for those, this has got to be so hard if you're depressed and watching. But sometimes all it takes is one person saying one thing, or just one thing that you hear or see that creates like an instant shift for you. And it really can be that easy. It's really, we just don't know what is going to be that powerful, and we don't know what's going to cause the shift. But this is getting to the bottom of it and looking at the pain and just whether or not we want to keep it or let it go. And she chose, at the point that she heard her subconscious while she was driving, and that message, like trance, like she says, that she decided to let go of her attachment to the pain that she had had with her relationship, and it seriously changed within minutes. So this is what I want to read to you, because this is important. This is not to suggest that all depression and or anxiety can be easily released. However, it does imply that oftentimes we actually become attached to and invested in feeling these negative states, making them much more difficult, if not impossible, to overcome. So I will tell you, I have this girlfriend, and oh my goodness, every time I see her, she goes into this like venting mode with me, and it's just negative, 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 everything, and it drives me batty. So I've come to realize that she feels that that is her way of connecting with me. And it's interesting. Is she single? Yeah, you want her? She's all yours. No. Yes, she is single. But I was speaking to another friend about it, and she brought up the thought that, you know what, like, she feels comfortable venting with you, and that's powerful, first off. So I just want to say that when you feel comfortable venting with someone and dropping your guard and being vulnerable about what's really bothering you, thank you for all the love, then that is something to notice and acknowledge. So it's not me automatically wanting to attack her and walk away and be like, okay, this girl's an energy suck. But it's about noticing that she does feel comfortable talking to me, and knowing that I can be there in support and to shift that conversation to get her out of the negativity into the positive mindset, because I love her. I love her to pieces. Not like that. Thank you. Thank you. So, bottom line is, people get attached. We get sucked into this trend of venting and talking negatively about situations. And so many people think that that's the way to connect. And oh my goodness, there are so many more powerful ways to connect than that. So that's one of the stories in here. There was another one. Oh yes, there's this woman, and I relate to this one. I relate to this one. How can we get attached? You don't want to be attached. That's the whole thing. It's about supporting each other and being there for each other. So without the attachment. So knowing that you can be attached or detached and secure at any point. So this lady, Lena, in the book, another story, her mother had died when she was young, and her dad basically instilled in her that she couldn't cry, that she needed to be a powerful woman and not show any of her emotions. So what she found is that in all her relationships, they pretty much end the same way, where the guys totally respect her, they think she's an amazing woman, they like her, and they want her to be a friend. And this is a consistent thing. Hi, thanks for joining for a few seconds. And so what she noticed is that she had taken this conversation that her dad had given her when she was young, I think it was like the age of 10 or something, and she has instilled that into her mind where she doesn't drop down and get vulnerable with people and let her emotions out. She fears that tremendously, and once she recognized that and related it to when she was a child, she realized that she had never let go of that unconscious, subconscious pattern. So that's what this one's all about. Relinquishing unconscious patterns. So one other one. What's your side? Hi. I don't know what your guys' names are because it's so fine print. So one more story that I'll share from the chapter that I definitely am always working on is the balance of the masculine and the feminine. In fact, I'm supporting a workshop. I'm supporting a workshop coming up. So I'm staffing it, and you're funny. Nice. Thanks. So it's about the balance of the masculine and the feminine. And I'm working on a startup. So in startup mode, it's my company. I'm the CEO. It's go, 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 go. I'm directing, I'm delegating, you name it. But then it's like when you meet the guy, then I get to drop down into the feminine mode and be soft and go there. So this lady is wondering, this other lady, Yolanda, is wondering why she's not creating this amazing relationship that she wants. And after going to one of Katherine Woodward's workshops, she realized that she's always in her masculine. So, for example, she was asked on a date, and he said, do you have a preference? And she immediately was like, yes, this restaurant, this time, this is the type of food I like. And she started like delegating because she also runs a company. And she realized that by her making all the decisions, she wasn't allowing herself to be in the feminine and allowing the man to step forward and be the masculine and, you know, share. I'm ignoring your comment. So she's realized that she's not letting the man to be masculine. So, yeah, so that was just a shift. So the homework is really simple today. Well, it's not simple. It's not simple at all. Thank you. all of this homework is just so powerful. But really it has to do with journaling. Once again, journaling. So that's why I was like, yes, take notes. Yes, take notes. Yes, they are, right? Jeez. Thank you. I agree. So writing these questions out and expanding on them is going to support you. And even just thinking about it. Like for me, I was like, yes, I'm in the masculine a lot. So the first question is, what is the pattern that you've experienced over and over again in romantic relationships? So the idea is to look at your previous relationships, and I did this in like 2 seconds. I was like, oh yes, I know exactly what I attract. So looking at your previous relationships and identifying the positive qualities of those people and identifying the negative qualities of those people. And maybe not the qualities, but your experience with them. Because obviously your experience versus their characteristics are going to change and be different with every single person that they're with. Men are intimidated. Yeah, you're intimidated when there's a woman like me that's here like, this is how you do it. And we're all masculine. I attract a lot of business owners because I am one as well. But guess what? What do we do when we're like top dogs? We're workaholics. So all the men I date up until recently when I've started making these changes because of this book have always been workaholics. So they don't have time. they do have time, and then it's like, let's cancel, let's drop, let me grab this phone call in the middle of a date. I know we're out doing what, so that's been my my experience. So journaling about what those common traits are, positive and negative, in your romantic relationships. And by the way, you could do this for business as well. Oh, thanks. So the next question is, what specifically am I doing to create the results? Like for me, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm a workaholic. But I've shifted, you guys. I've shifted. I made a commitment to stop working every single day at 6:30, because if I was in a relationship, I would probably not be working at 6:30. We'd be going and working out or doing something or going to dinner, you know? So it's about creating the space, and with the intention that that is going to creating the space, knowing that like that is creating the intention of having a partner with me. Third question. In what ways, if any, has this pattern acted out by one or more of your parents? So for me, workaholic, yes or no, not anymore. But I know that my go-to is work because my mom was a stay-at-home mom. And I didn't like that dichotomy. Personally, I didn't like how she was under control in my mind, my child brain, of my dad. And I love my parents, both of them. In fact, my mom is the only one working now. My dad doesn't. He's retired. But it's just interesting how I was like, I don't want to be the stay-at-home mom, not working. I want to work. I want to make my own impact. Not that you don't make an impact as a stay-at-home mom. I'm sure that that would completely shift as soon as I had kids. But that is something that I recognize that I adopted because of what I was seeing as a child. So if you're looking at your past and how you were raised, what patterns have you adopted or forced away because of how you were raised? And which ones do you get to release from your life? Which one do you get to release from your life? So, of course, there's always a bonus section, practice homework. So the homework today is to do at least one thing today that breaks up the pattern of what the norm is for you. Sometimes I'll drive home from different places in a completely different route just to shift up the energy, you know, something that simple. So doing actions throughout the day, maybe if you're in school or at work and you go and eat, and going to a different restaurant or eating something different on the menu, like there's so many ways to just start shifting now, because without making a shift somewhere, no change is going to ever happen. So I'm always saying that line, I know, but it means a lot. So, here's what she has. So, for example, if your style is normally quiet and passive, yes, I believe you should definitely embrace who you are authentically, because otherwise you're going to be unhappy with the person that you've attracted because they think that they are with one person, and then eventually you decide to show your true character. Always be yourself. Oh my gosh, it's so important to be authentic. So what she says is, if you're normally quiet and passive, then speak up at a meeting in a bold or assertive way. If you're usually a beige person, be colorful. If you always, oh my gosh, my girlfriend always wears gray and black. So I'm constantly like, go put some color on. Even if it's a necklace, like, let's add some color to your life. Just once in a while, just change it up, right? Just see how it feels and see you were, oh, geez. Oh, you're funny. You're funny. So it's about changing it up, okay? That is the lesson for today. So diving in, looking at unconscious things that we do where we're attached, and it's about detaching, shifting, creating something new, and going from there. So that's lesson 14. I'm really excited because we've made it 2 weeks. And I'll tell you what tomorrow's is, if I can find it. Okay, lesson 15. Oh, geez. Okay, tomorrow's is going to be deep. Lesson 15, early childhood woundings. So wounds from early childhood, that's tomorrow. So That's going to be deep. But hopefully you guys got something out of the lesson today. Did that resonate for any of you guys? Are you guys seeing any? Tap the heart if you guys notice any unconscious patterns in your own life. Yay! Lesson 16, my number? No, it's not my number. But I'm glad this is supporting you guys because, yay! Thank you. So hopefully, yeah, if this resonates with you, feel free to share with whoever that you feel also it might support. You just never know. And yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. I'll be on again tomorrow. I'm sorry I can't tell you a time. I wish I was more consistent with time, but I'll eventually get there. Okay, love you too. Love everybody. I gotta go. I got a date. First date. I'm excited. Okay. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.